expecting to see a very close match, but predictions in Navi's favor. The former world champions certainly have got a lot of great results going for them so far this year, and also have got some excellent performances, although the result did not stand. They were victorious in the April qualifier, taking a win before the DQ came through. So they've got a lot of experience, not just in past years, but also this year, making it to the very end of the bracket, and expect to see some more great wars from them in this last opportunity before the LCQ determines the complete roster lineup for the World Championship matches. But Lex, we're about to hop on out, so give us your final thoughts before we do so.
It is going to be a great match. I'm really looking forward to see if either of these teams have been able to come up with anything new on defense, if they're going to come up with anything new on offense, or if we're just going to see the same old top-tier attacks from Pulse, creative stuff from Navi. We'll just have to all wait, watch, and enjoy the content. So I'll let you guys take this one away. Good luck. This is going to be an awesome one to watch.
Thank you for that, Lexnos. And take a look at that, 83%. I'm trying to remember if we, what was the most one-sided voting we ever had? It was around this range, right?
Yeah, I think
I remember a few. Maybe Navi in the past had already one of this type of vote, but otherwise it is just crazy, 83%. So it seems like casters and community viewers all agree. Can Navi now live up to all of this hype, which, well, everyone is expecting from them?
I'd certainly say they're the favorites, but I don't want to say that they have an 83% chance of winning. That's kind of one way that you might interpret a community vote like that. It still is going to be a close match where every player has to perform at the highest possible level in a very tense environment. But I would definitely give a 60-65% odds in Navi's favor. But the community really tilting toward Navi. Is that just because of name recognition, do you think? Did Pulse have some sort of slip up earlier that's sapping their support? I can't see what it is, because with the only perfect war out of the first upper bracket quarterfinals, Pulse seems to be the best of those four teams to challenge Navi.
I feel like there's multiple reasons. I mean, first off, they have an incredible big name within the Clash esports scene. The players are already playing inside the esports scene for many years. They are well known. On top of that, they're known, as Lexnos said, for their creative approaches, which is another really highly appreciated thing about them. And if we take a look at just pure stats, both of those teams in the second stage went all perfect, but the average time from Navi has been the best, with 1 minute and 26 seconds. While on Pulse Gaming side, we have 1 minute 34 seconds. So pretty much everything is going in their favor. Now the question is, can they show up when it matters in this upper bracket match versus Pulse Gaming? Because as you said it, Pulse Gaming looked really strong as well, and they are starting and kicking off this match versus Navi now.
I mean, Navi just look like champions, though. I hate to reduce this to pure aesthetics, but Sahara's got a smile on his face, his arms are behind his back. Navi Klaus has got a jersey on, a confident glare at the camera. He's cracking his knuckles. He just looks like a champion. We'll see what happens in this next match, though. Is Sahara going to give us an upset performance to start Pulse Gaming out with a rapid fast strike, or will Klaus's defenses hold? We're seeing another standard complement of equipment from these heroes, as well as 1 overgrowth spell, 11 Valks to support a 5 Root Rider army on the ground, and it has begun. Siege Barracks is down on the left corner. Royal Champion as well, going to start stabbing through with the P.E.K.K.A to support. A Puppet brings in some healers to support the Arch Queen up top, and the Grand Warden is going to be helping out those Root Riders, with the Barb King now able to jump over walls. Too.
Yeah, but I think not that many Valkyries actually went inside with his Root Rider push, and things are getting delayed quite a bit with those Ice Golems, so he has to use that Warden ability early on. The Rage is now going off as well, and raged up defenses can deal a lot of damage. King ability has been used, but there's no pathing so far towards the Town Hall. This is why he has to use the Overgrowth spell to really keep this push going.
I really would have expected a rage against the Monolith and the Multi-Inferno. Instead, he had to pop that Eternal Tome a little bit early, and that's going to be a lot of damage dished out onto the Root Riders and Valks, who... where are the Root Riders? There's none left, Itsu.
And that's like the problem with the Root Riders now with the latest nerf, right? Because they're not dealing any damage. And he had quite a few of Valkyries, but most of them got either spring trapped away or they were just following the king because he did not funnel them properly. But there's still the chance of pushing all the way through with this rage spell in place. It's going to be close, but if the tower's going down, he's still looking fine. But the time is really slow, though.
It's a bit slow. I wouldn't say really slow. You know, we're crossing right at that... looked like about 87 seconds, so not a strong, quick strike for Pulse Gaming, but still Sahara does give us a 3-star and seems pretty decently happy about how that went down. It's just when you're up against a team like Navi, you really cannot give any free seconds like that, and a little bit of lag on your time there is going to give Navi another easy shot at victory. But next up is going to be Gaku. Might have had one of the best hit rates on this team, and coming right out of the gates, expect to see another triple from him, Itsu.
Yeah, and he's just really, really good starting for his team into the match, setting up the tone of this match, because we have seen, as this was highlighted earlier, the first couple of matches, typically, some of those players are just trying to completely go over the top when it comes down to speeding things up, and then this is where time is causing some fails, and this can like really give him a lot of problems, or the team a lot of problems in the match. But let's hope that this is not going to happen to Gaku, because he's going in with those dragons, a great giant arrow to take down the entire core, with the earthquakes as well, to make sure the rage towers are triggered so there's less damage for his dragons.
Great pop on that Eternal Tome, got all of the dragons protected there, and it's going to be Archer streaming out of the CC. Great news for Gaku as well, who's going to drop that poison spell and will be able to deal with him so fast. Dragons get a little bit of a spread, as well as the bottom side is going to get obliterated by another complement of winged beasts. They spread out beautifully on the interior of this core as well, taking down the multi-Inferno, multi-Archer towers, and plenty of easy targets to support now, as they will be providing some additional help to the Archer Queen and the Royal Champion up on the top side. She'll be taking down that enemy multi-Inferno, and with the Overgrowth wearing off soon, it's going to be an easy collapse under the core. Another really fast strike from Gaku is going to be a 3-star in record time to give an advantage to Navi out of the gate.
Yeah, clean attack. The idea of adding the giant arrow with 2 earthquakes to take down both rage towers in the core was really genius, making sure that those really important spare towers have no chance of like interacting with his dragons, and making sure that the push in the core looked really strong. And this is resulting in a really quick attack, 1 minute and 8 seconds. Considering that they have just gotten a solid, well, time on defense, this looks really good as a start for Navi.
A flying elbow drop right in Pulse Gaming's face, and Navi Gaku does not disappoint with a lightning quick 3-star strike. Next in the competition will be Watto from Pulse Gaming, moving in against Yatta of Navi. Yatta, another perfect 3-star striker, is sure to have a tough base for Watto to go up against, and with the lowest hit rate on Pulse, Watto really does need to be the staple striker in the second position now. Bring in some invisibility and a healer puppet for this queen. It's going to go the distance on a long strike, but catches a Tesla farm in the bottom side early on. Some difficult news for Watto to have to deal with, as he drops an Ice Golem now on offense to try to neutralize that compartment and support those heroes. Barbarian King stabbing through the left side now will be joining up with the Root Riders, who have been dropped on the bottom left, supported by that Grand Warden. The Eternal Tome is popped nice and early, and it's going to be a stab at that single Inferno. Can the King take it down before it gets him burnt up? Yes, he does.
Oh, but I feel like all of the heroes are a little bit all over the place, with the King and Queen kind of switching positions to some degree. The Monolith is staying up because the King did not go there. He's now redirecting, but the Monolith has to go down. That's always a lot of damage to his troops. There goes the rage for the Royal Champion, closing in from the top side, and somehow he's keeping that Queen alive.
Yeah, and he kept the King alive too, with a couple of Super Barbarians running out in front to soak shots from the Monolith. Overgrowth is going to wear off at a pretty terrifying time, but with the freeze right into the core, Watto is going to get the 3-star, no questions asked. He has obliterated this base and done so in great time as well, dropping the overall attack time for Pulse Gaming from 1 minute 28 now down to, I think it's gonna be closer to 1 minute and 23. Yeah. So still a clear advantage for Navi, but an improvement by Watto, and certainly going to be overperforming relative to his previous hits. Pulse Gaming have got to be happy with that second hit, Itsu.
Yeah, and especially how things started, right? Like, if you have an attack which all is going perfect in your favor, it is, well, most of the time looking way easier. But with the test up form, he was surprised there. So adapting correctly, making those adjustments, and he has done a really, really great job with that. And now we're going to the other side. Yatta is in for Navi, and he wants to get that next 3-star in for them, and he's going in as well with those Root Riders and Bakeries, but bringing in an Electro Dragon. So where is he going to add those chains? Maybe on the right side? Yes, on that Dark Elixir storage, because there's not that many defenses which can actually target air.
Tough start now for Yatta, another superstar striker with a 3-star record that has not been broken yet. Moving in with that Holland King in that bottom compartment. We'll be able to jump over walls as the CC pops out now. He's got no poison to deal with it, but he will have to have something to knock apart those ice golems and keep that King on target. King does have a Phoenix to stay up a little bit longer after he gets the boot there. But Yatta is now shaping up for the follow-up now, as Root Riders and an Electro Dragon are going to be going closer and closer toward that core. Give him a rage spell as well, and this is going to be a heavy-handed hit against those two scatter shots, Itsu.
Yeah, and especially the King with the jump, he did not get the value he was looking for. The Ice Golems delaying things too much, and there was just too much damage on his Barbarian King. Question now is, how fast are those Root Riders going to leave that core? Because the Overgrowth spell should wake up anytime soon, and how did the Electro Dragon survive until this point? He just went down with the Black Mine, and this is now the moment where the tunnel wakes up, and it's literally the last beating now for him.
Yeah, I think he might have soaked 2 Black Mines, and with Yatta now moving into the final compartment, this was going to be a 3-star for sure. Very fast attack again, although he's going to be increasing the time closer to where Pulse Gaming is at. We're passing that 90% mark, and so actually, I mean, I don't know if I should have called it a very fast attack. In fact, Yatta is going to be leaving this one with a few seconds left to be desired. Still, Navi going to have a little bit of an advantage now, but just a 2-second heads up play from them so far, Itsu.
Yeah, time is for sure way closer now. This attack wasn't the fastest, but getting the 3-star done, and both teams are now way closer, with Pulse Gaming attacking next. This time around, Gaku on the defensive side of things. Or we have seen a lot of Riders. Is it going to Dragons, which I think is quite interesting. In the last years, we always have seen Dragons to start off the matches, but typically it's the Root Rider starting things off and then switching later into those Dragon attacks, mixing with Electro Dragon sometimes as well. Is it going to be something like this in this match as well, or are we going to see mostly Root Riders over the entirety of the match?
Barb King ready to smash on through. Giant arrow from that Archer Queen right out of the gate, cuts through a major channel of that base, and should give some great funneling for these Root Riders who are going to be lined up right in between the King and Queen now. They're going to be going straight for the core, as Lincoln's army is going to be set up with a Grand Warden as well to protect in the back, and holding on to 4 rage spells for a really fast strike. Electro Dragon up on the top side as well to give some more funneling, as the Siege Barracks on that left side has now finished off, and will give some more P.E.K.K.A support to the Barbarian King along that edge. He is just pumping on all cylinders right now, Itsu, and going very fast into the core.
Yeah, the Root Riders going there as well, making sure that this area really quick, especially with those Valkyries on his side as well. The Archer Queen is going to be raged up on his side to make sure that the cannon's having no chance, where the Electro Dragon is still doing cleanup, and it should eventually push that King back inside that Inferno Tower compartment. The Town Hall should wake up really soon, and as I'm saying that, it is back up, and he has another rage to make sure that this is perfectly timed for the Town Hall to go down as well.
Right into the core, it does get eliminated, and a rapid fast attack. Lincoln is pumping his fists. This is exactly what Pulse Gaming needed to get back into the action. Maybe the strongest attacker on their lineup has brought the average time way far down, and now they're tied with Navi at 1 minute and 21 seconds average, Itsu.
Yeah, that was a really, really good attack, and you saw he was happy with that, making sure that he is decreasing the average time of his team even further. And now it is Kazuma for NAVI, who's going to try to get the average time in their favor again, or even further in their favor with his next attack.
Attacker is going to be Kazuma against Lincoln. Kazuma knows the stakes in this next hit. This is a perfectly even war with two teams that have perfect 3-star strikes across the board so far, but with a slow hit from Yata, we now have an average time tie. 1 minute and 21 seconds is the standard for Kazuma to hit. Anything slower than that gives the advantage back to Pulse Gaming.
And is this going to be now one of those more fancy attacks when it comes down to equipments? For example, he has 3 invisibility and an earthquake, which to me is kind of sounds like a fireball approach here. There goes the fireball right in the center of the base, and he's taking down quite a few of those defenses. The Warden now can do the cleanup, especially with this Rage Aura, while his heroes, or the Queen more specifically, is approaching from the bottom side with the support of that Barbarian King.
Very rarely see LALO in competitive play now, but he is gonna be doing a lot of damage early on to try to justify this entry point. Kazuma also takes out a couple of Teslas. That could have been a bit of a surprise for his forces there on the top side of the base. And this is just getting crushed from all corners like a vice grip. A pneumatic press, just applying pressure on every edge, and with the overgrowth to shut down the core, that is going to be the last target that he's going to have to finish off. Still holding on to an invisibility, a couple of freezes, and a rage. He drops 1 on the core there, and is going to see all of those troops collapsing in record time. Kazuma has just obliterated the space, and any expectation that this was going to be a slow hit or some sort of strike that was too fancy to quick, to hit fast, you have got to reset your expectations, and never underestimate Kazuma, who puts the lead back into fashion for NAVI.
What an attack this was. The fireball to set things up, make sure that already a lot of key defenses have been taken care of. The pathing was set, and the cool thing about this is as well is that the Warden is already providing the cleanup, and the Warden with the Rage Aura and with the fireball, both of those equipments are increasing the base damage of that hero, which means he can provide already great cleanup and is speeding up the time even more. And we have perfectly seen that with that last attack. But now we're back to Pulse Gaming. Chihuahua is going to go in for them, and he's going to attack Kazuma.
Beautiful strike there, and you see the calls in chat as well from Eric. A common W from Kazuma, and also from Maxi calling him the GOAT. Beautiful quick strike, and if I called it slow, that was definitely a misspeak, because that was a certainly very quick hit. We're going back to Chihuahua now for Pulse Gaming with another opportunity to follow up, striking across that base with a giant arrow and dropping everything as he quickly possibly can right on the bottom right side to support this Grand Warden. He's going to catch a couple of Ice Golems to try to delay the attack, but with an early Eternal Tone, they are going to be not taking any damage from these defenses.
Yeah, we have to make sure that we're keeping an eye on the Valkyries and where they're going, because remember, the Root Riders themselves, they don't have the most damage, but they need the support of those Valkyries to provide that damage as long as the Root Riders are opening those walls and the compartments. And so far, I think it looks pretty solid. He has quite a few of those troops left with the Royal Gem in the mix as well, but the Archer Queen is now slowly pushing into that single front tower, but he has to be careful. There goes the freeze, keeping her alive.
Terrifying follow-up now as he has to drop another freeze to shut down defenses on the bottom side of the space. Chihuahua knows that he doesn't have a whole lot of offense left to take out those 2 defenses. With a giant bomb exploding in the face of those Root Riders and little support from Valkyries, this is going to be an awkward follow-up now as Chihuahua is just twirling his mustache, hoping that he can find some way to get back in here, but the super minions are just getting demolished. He's got nothing left to commit to this attack, and it is going to be a 1-star for Pulse Gaming, Itsu.
Oh no, this did not work out. He ran out of spells with the support which he was needing for the Archer Queen. Then the Barbarian King, I think, dropped way too low for him to really take down the value he was looking for. The push of the Root Riders did go down too early, And now we have an incredible chase going on between the Phoenix and that King, where, yeah, I think he can just stop that right there. But this means a massive defense now for Navi, and at this point, they can just go for those safer 3 stars if they have anything in mind there.
Very unfortunate finish for Pulse Gaming. You saw Chihawa recognize the difficulty with that hit, his hands running over his head as he just asks himself what went wrong, what could have happened to such a strong strike. Root Riders are not expected to wither away that quick, but it does seem to be the sort of army that has been running into difficulty time and again, missing attacks, but rarely missing on a 1-star hit. And so let's take a look back now at Navi, where is another chance for a superstar player. It's Stars marching back in, looking for a triple to seal the deal. Pulse Gaming knowing that with a disadvantageous spot on Stars, they have got no room for error and need a defense, not the sort of thing that you can expect against Stars.
Yeah, and take a look at that. That is just classic. We have some lightnings, we have earthquakes, bats. So what is he going to bring up here with the regular dragons as the main army composition? We have as well the giant arrow, which is going to be most likely combined with those lightnings and the spells in general. And he's starting with the funneling on both sides with King, dragons then on the complete other side, and the siege barracks at top.
Dragons well supported by a Grand Warden's Eternal Tome popped early to protect against Eagle artillery shots raining down on this attack. It's a giant arrow to cut through the base once again, while the defensive Queen is going to have to face off against 2 terrifying heroes. King chops her to ribbons as Stars is going to massively march through the left side of this base now with still plenty of dragons to crush through. He's got 2 stars already and is looking for the 3rd for the cleanup. With already 40 seconds, he's gotten 75% of the base demolished, Itsu.
Yeah, that's right. The bats are closing in. There's nothing which can actually like take them out because there is no multi-inferno towers, or for example a wizard tower. Really great play by him, and the bats now have to get in range of that eagle to survive even that. And this is going to be indeed another 3-star for Navi. They're putting up a show right now and showing why the community actually had an 83 voting in their favor when it comes down who would actually win this match.
Well, Stars gives us the quickest attack of the war so far, and I can't even remember a quicker attack yet today. A 63-second hit from Stars is certainly going to give even more confidence to this Navi team, which knows that they have such a massive advantage now. A 2-star hit in their final 5th attack would be enough to guarantee the win. That means NYU cannot miss. He needs a 3-star strike, and to hope beyond hope that somehow they can get a 1-star defense against Navi in their last round. Not the sort of thing that you would expect to see, but let's give them all the opportunity that they have deserved by making it this far. NYU are going to be marching forth with a LALO army to close it out.
And it's kind of like a small queen charge going on right there with this combination of the heater and the frozen arrow equipment. We have the blimp now flying in towards this really dangerous zone for the LALO, which is the multi-arch towers, the multi-inferno towers. There's the tornado trap though. Is this tunnel going to go down?
It's still a big question mark. I don't know. It looked like he had some sneaky cops on there, but maybe no, he's going to overgrowth it instead. The town hall stands, and NYU is now in a perilous position where he has to knock apart the most important defense, holding on to the final star before he can clear this base apart, Itsu.
Yeah, and I'm not really sure what's going on there. I guess he wanted to have more than just triggering the rage tower, but there were too many traps, especially with the tornado trap. And now overpowering this core is not going to be easy. The Royal Champ ability is going to help that for sure, but there's quite some defenses behind the Town Hall, which are not easy to reach, and he already knows this is not going to go anywhere. Taking a sip of his drink, but this is going to result in another 2-star, and I'm really confident that we will see those bases in Legends.
Well, hold on, the Archer Queen could finish it off.
Wait, the frozen arrow equipment now is coming in clutch. I was calling this off too early. He's getting this done. Crazy.
Yeah, Archer Queen is going to be the clutch finisher for this base with support from 2 healers and a unicorn still to keep her alive. That frozen arrow really is, you called it, it's the thing that saved this attack. So it's going to be a slow one. 3 stars are going to be on the board, but it's going to be no happy finish here for NYU, who just kind of barely got it by the skin of his teeth. He's smiling though, so at least he didn't miss on the attack, as we saw from Chihawa earlier, but no misses at all from Navi either. And with a 2-star on their next strike, they will advance in the upper bracket.
Yeah, I would have loved to see what exactly in that, like what was in that blimp. Was it a Yeti blimp? I think we saw quite a few sneaky goblins, but was it nothing else? I'm not really sure what was going on there, but either way, he got it done. I would have loved to know as well if he knew that he would 3-star as soon as he took the first, like, I don't know, drink, but that was quite crazy. But Klaus is up next for Navi, and let's see what he is going to bring to his attack.
Well, Sham in chat says, Klaus, try something crazy, please. And I think that's what everyone is out there hoping for. Bring us something from out of this world. I want to see it happen, but alas, Root Riders for the finishing blow. How is he going to put that Klaus spin on it, though? A Flame Flinger, interesting addition here in the left side corner.
I mean, with the Earthquake and the Lightnings, it's going to be some damage equipment. I think we have not seen all of the equipments in the beginning. Fireball is an option, Giant Arrow is an option. All those things can be for sure used there. Or it's going to be used again in like completely different way. It's always those creative attacks which are really hard to predict, but he's taking his time. He lets that Flame Flinger take down some buildings, going for that merged cannon next, and then just waits with his heroes to make sure the funnel is set up.
I saw he took a quick look at the camera just as if to say, hey, are you guys watching? You gonna keep an eye on this? This is going to be the closeout hit for Navi, and all they need is a 2-star. That is such a low bar to set for Klaus, who's now using Earthquake and Lightning right into the core. With that Giant Arrow, it's enough to take out the Poison Tower and one of those Builder's Huts, as well as the Monolith, another key defense to eliminate early on. CC stands though, and it's going to be a lot of archers creeping out of there to start to challenge the Barbarian King and Archer Queen on offense.
Yeah, you see laying the poison, not decided just yet where to use it. Now using it on the left side of left group of archers. Most of them are going down, and he's pushing in strong with that Roy Champ warding combination. There's still a lot of Super Barbarians left, which he can deploy wherever he wants for cleanup, for just power towards the core. That's totally up to him. But the Town Hall is still left, and it seems like it's going to be the last building.
Yeah, a little bit of a dicey move here, but Klaus also knows he actually doesn't even need a 2-star. If he gets a 1-star 94%, as Sagar Shah in chat has pointed out, that's also enough for a win. And with still holding on to the... you know what? I don't think he's played a Royal Champion. I think he's holding on to her ability to swag until the very end. And that's how he's going to give us a little bit of satisfaction here. Swag's the RC ability. And that is going to be the 3-star cleanup that Klaus has delivered for victory to Navi.
Yeah, really, really great attacks overall from them, really showing why they are the fan favorites, why the voting was so far in their favor. They're just combining those safer approaches of like 3 stars as well with those crazy fireball attacks, for example, as well, and show as well like how quick those more creative attacks can be in this current meta, which they have done really, really nicely. But I feel like the big story of this has to be the defense, or the defense. Only one, since the other one was, in a miracle, was saved. But the defense again made this match way more one-sided than it might have looked in the beginning.
It's a 15-13 scoreline in the end, and victory for Navi, with a perfect offense and a very impressive upset defense against Pulse Gaming. Superstar squad just happens to miss against the world champions. You've heard it before, when you come for the king, you best not miss. And in this case, Pulse Gaming do come up 2 stars short against a world championship team. But I gotta hand it to them. They did a great job on time, keeping it close on the time front. Pulse with a 1 minute and 32-second average time. We're only 7 seconds behind on average against NAVI. Not enough to get a tiebreaker win, and not enough in the end to give us that tight finish that we might have hoped for. But Pulse will continue to fight in the lower bracket, and so will NAVI. They'll be fighting in the upper bracket now, where only 2 more wins will get them the golden ticket again that they had so hoped to keep on their side. They really want to go back into the World Championship match again, as they are not the reigning champions. They were unseeded last year, but they do have a World Championship title to their name and want to vindicate themselves with another win this year, Itsu.
Yeah, I'm just wondering currently, who do you think is going to get the MVP vote? I feel like the attack of Stars and Kazuma were incredibly creative and as well the fastest.
I think it could go to Gaku.
Gaku as well? Yeah, I mean, he was really quick as well.
But Stars and Kazuma, yeah, you're making great solid points there. The quicker attacks from Stars and Kazuma. I would actually say Stars, Kazuma, and Gaku are going to be the 3 that we see on the MVP lineup next. But the votes are streaming in, and it'll be just a short amount of time. Yep. No, it's going to be Klaus taking the 3rd spot alongside Kazuma and Stars. Gaku not even getting the nod. But 36% of the vote for Kazuma, Itsu.